Alright, so for all you people who are active watchers of my channel, you see I just put out a video on the Xbox menu, and some of the menus they change and kind of switch over to the quote-unquote tile system that you're seeing a lot of on the on Windows 8 platforms, at least to just give it a little more of a feel like that, also to prepare for things like Microsoft Surface, things like that coming out. But that's not to say PlayStation was on top of their game too and decided to do an update as well. Now, for the actual services themselves, everything else is pretty much as is. However, they've actually done an update to the PlayStation Store. So I'm going to load that in now and kind of show you guys how. The first thing before I do is let's just take a quick note on the load-in times. Sometimes when I used to click on PlayStation Store with the old system, it used to load in pretty quickly. Click it, boom, it's already up by now. As you can see, there is a little bit of a delay now. There's more to load in. I'll get into a little bit of that as well, but that's kind of annoying. You know, I'll be honest, it's kind of annoying to have to click and wait for it to load in, things like that, but it's completely different. First time you've seen the store like this at all. They've always made small revisions and things like that. This is a brand new look, and there's a couple of cool things about it, so let's let it load in here. Alright, so there you go. So you see the new store, and the first thing you'll notice is they too have gone to this kind of tile-based system, where you see everything here, it kind of scrolls as you move along. It's got this kind of where the background images and then there's foreground images that move, so it's kind of a 3D overlay effect. Kind of like the tile system of Windows 8, if I may be honest. A little bit, not too much, but you get that feel, right? Everything that you know and love is still all there, so you know, welcome games and movies, TV shows, apps, all that usual stuff, and as you can see there's menus for each one. And then you just click over, you just press to the right on your pad or your joystick, and then you can just go through and select what you want to select. Of course, as you go through, for example, you're in apps, and then of course it breaks it down even further, and you can just go, for example, all PS3 apps. You'll see it'll load in, and you got 13 PS3 apps right there, or you can break it down by, you know, individual types. Same with games, for example. You go to games, you can see, for example, doing a spotlight in Assassin's Creed. Of course, there's PlayStation Plus for any PlayStation Plus signers, anyone who has PlayStation Plus, hot, new, everything like that. And of course, you can just go by game, break it down by game individually. PS3 games, if you go here, and then you go all PS3 games, for example, it'll load in all 1,516 games. If you look in the top right hand corner, you'll see that number there, and you can just break it down even further if you wanted to. A couple things that they did change, of course, obviously, aside from the look and how to access all the information. I do like, for example, before we get to some of the new stuff, I do like some of the layouts they've put into here. You know, for example, now you can kind of see things clear. It's all in images, things like that. Just it's a nice little change aside from those little small boxes and things like that. As you can see over here, you can break everything down like that. You'll notice though, as I scroll up and down, there is an ever so slight lag, and that's because you're now loading in more information. I do have a good internet connection, but even with that, it is still a little bit laggy. You just can't get around that. There's just more stuff to load in. But aside from that, everything is as is. Movies where you expect them, games where you expect them, you can see everything. It's all clear and easy to use. A couple things I did note that I kind of liked is fun. It's now easier to access your viewed downloads. You can just see it all right here if you have any downloads going on. As you can see all the other downloads I've done recently, things like that, including some WWE ones. But you can now just see all your downloads all in one spot and re-download if necessary. Second thing to note is the redeem codes has changed. One of the things I've always been annoyed with, you click redeem codes and you have those 3 boxes where you enter 4-digit codes, 4 digits for each box. So you have to go click on it, enter 4 numbers from the PSN code, back out, go into the second box, etc., etc., etc. Don't have to do that anymore. You just click in, you enter your 12-digit code, blah 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 blah, whatever it is, right? And there it is, right? Now actually it's showing too long. I think it's longer than 12 digits, but you can see that they have it there. You know, you put it in now, it's just easy to use, much simpler, much easier, much smoother. Another thing that I will note to you quickly that I'm kind of mixed about is the new search engine. On one end, it's good, on the other, it's not so good. So the first thing to note is, I'll show you here, the way they've set it up is now you've kind of just got all the letters there, and as you scroll through the letters, I'll show you something nifty with that. But the first thing is because you have to scroll through each letter individually, so for example, Call of Duty, let's go C, you gotta go A, then you gotta go L, and it's going to load in as you try and search stuff, so it'll find things in the movies, it'll find things in games, the most popular is at the top for top results. You know, it's going to kind of break that down. So now you're kind of scrolling around, and that kind of makes things a little bit annoying on one end, but Also good another. Now let me show you this here. Let's go back and use Call of Duty for a second. So what the engine does do first off is, so you find a letter, you start with C, and then, for example, let's say Call of Duty, you look A. So when you go here now, you'll notice there's a bunch of letters missing. A is missing, you got H is missing, let's see what else is missing here. Q is missing, Y and Z, because it looks for just what's there, what's available. So for example, there's nothing in the list right now that's C-A-Y, so it's not going to even give you that option. It's just not going to. So let's say we're looking, let's look, I see over there, Cave of Forgotten Dreams. So you go C, C-A-V. Now it's only going to give you 3 options, because there's only titles in there that either have an A following, E, or I, right? So it's more intuitive in that sense, where now it's easier to break things down and search things in that way, where if you're just trying to search for stuff and you're maybe doing more general searches, this would be actually a lot easier, because you can kind of break things down and it opens up a lot of options. You're not searching for stuff that are not in there. You're only be able to search what is there. But the downside, for example, with the old setup that we had previously, is I could, for example, just click C, the one thing, because it was so much faster, I would click C in the search engine in the old PlayStation Store, kind of scroll down to the bottom, scroll wherever I needed to, and just kind of scroll, and it'll just load everything in quickly, and away you go. So the search engine was a little more intuitive on one degree, but I do find that this is actually, in the long run, much easier to use, right? Just, it's annoying at times. But that's kind of the big change. As you can see, lots of nice visuals, a lot of stuff going on in there now. They have some adverts, welcome to new PlayStation Store. I also like that they've put that toward the back. Obviously, people look at the new PlayStation Store. If you want to learn about it, you can. A lot of times they like to throw stuff in your face. Look at what we have. In this case here, they haven't. You just got a little menu for it if you want to see what's new. But, they've obviously got a lot of stuff going on here. And, yeah, it's a nice little change. I do like the direction that they went with it overall. Alright, so that's my kind of take on the PSN Store updates. You've seen the Xbox, you've seen the PSN. Which one do you guys like more? What system do you guys play more? Let me know, and we can kind of, go back and forth on that. If you like the PlayStation update more, alright. If you like the Xbox update more, okay, let me know why, and we'll go from there. So, anyways, I'll leave it at that for now. Keep watching for more videos coming soon. This is Nexus. Take care and have a good one.